Old school versus new school.
And that old school handstand is hard.
It's hard to be old school.
Welcome back to 9408 Fitness. I'm Jonathan Horton with Kerry Houston. We're back today with another video. We're going to explain one of the most underutilized exercises in all of sports and fitness, in my opinion. Very excited to share the information with you guys today. So Kerry, what do we got for them today?
Guys, today we have the handstand. Handstand is awesome because basically we're getting you off your feet. We're going to take all the fear out of what it takes to do a handstand. I'm going to show you all the different aspects of a handstand. This is not just a thing that gymnasts can do or people that do acrobats can do. This is for everybody that wants to achieve the full level of fitness. So we're going to show you guys how to just do a handstand today.
So here we go. Let's get inverted. All right, so before we get into the how to do a handstand properly, we want to talk about the why to do a handstand. It's important to know why do you want to do it? A couple gymnasts here, as you guys know, we both have extensive gymnastics backgrounds. You might be thinking, well, these guys, of course, they think a handstand is important, but it's not just for gymnasts. It's a very important skill to develop no matter what you're trying to do in your fitness journeys. So why do you want to do it? First, overall strength. Just to work on the strength of your body, your arms, shoulders, core. Your core is very engaged. Even your lower body is engaged in a proper handstand. Also, who can do a handstand? I believe everybody can do it. I'm actually working with somebody that's 66 years old right now, decided he wanted to learn a handstand the other day. So I'm working with him once a week. Absolutely. We're learning a handstand. We're going through the proper progressions. He's actually getting pretty good. So anybody can learn a handstand. So my 7-year-old son can do it, all the way up to however old you are with the proper level of fitness to do it safely. Also, when should it be done? I do handstands every day. I love to get inverted. I actually like to start my workouts with a handstand and finish my workouts with a handstand. So I'm gonna let Kerry add on to some of that, why, who, when, and then we'll get to the how.
Guys, basically, a handstand is just so important to give your body overall balance. Okay, we walk around on our feet every single day. We have, we're very strong down below. We just have this, we're naturally good on our feet. In order to get overall fitness balance, one, just flip that upside down and be comfortable on your hands, just to provide that total body fitness. Now, we're gonna teach you guys how to take the fear out of it, okay? I'm not gonna just throw you upside down immediately. I'm gonna give you guys some great drills, some great progressions that's gonna allow you to succeed right from the start on these handstands.
Yeah, good point. It's fearful. It's not natural for us to be upside down and inverted. Right. But we'll show you how you can do it safely and get excited about doing it properly, because that's what's most important. A lot of you probably can't even imagine being away from a wall, holding a handstand in a really steady way. We're gonna help you get there.
Guys, the first part that we wanna work on with the handstand is the hand position. We're going to get into body position in just a minute, but let's look at the hands first. How do you actually place your hands on the floor? And first thing that I want to do is think about opening. Anytime that you create a wider base, you get better balance. So don't put your fingers together, open them up, okay? And also you want to think about having your hands forward and not turning to where all you have to balance is just pushing with your thumbs. You want your hands to be forward. Open those fingers up and then place them on the ground, like that. That combined with your wrist provides you a nice stable base. You can really get some good balance. So what do you think there?
Yeah, I've always told people the best balance position with your hands is by creating the U's right here, taking your thumb and your index finger and having them not quite perfectly up here, because then you lose some of the forward, stability with your fingers, but almost like a funky looking U that shapes up this way to get the most out of your fingers and wrists, because what you'll ultimately find is once you get the right body position, holding a handstand comes down to your wrist and fingers at the end of the day. Being able to keep yourself board stiff upside down and just small changes in the fingers and wrists will keep you balanced.
Guys, keep it simple. Just think about this. How do you place your feet on the ground when you're standing? You want to really, stand with a nice stable and nice support. How do you stand? Your toes are forward, right? You don't turn to the side so your toes are kind of turned out. You want your feet forward. it's for good balance. So the same thing with your hands, just place them on the ground, and it's pretty simple from there. That's how you begin.
Step one.
A good handstand, guys, begins with very good posture. Just like you're standing on your feet, standing on your hands is no different. One thing about having your chin up nice and tall here, your shoulders relaxed, turn to the side, what do you see? Okay? The back of your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your heels ideally are going to line up. Now, your posture has a lot to do with your body type as well. Okay, a person that has a smaller bottom, their back is going to look a little bit different than a person that has, a naturally, bigger bottom, or shoulder rounding, or whatever's going on with your posture. You have to be constantly working on these things, standing on your feet or standing on your hands. So now we're going to take that same body position, and then we're going to have you lay back on your back. John, come on in for this one. So we're going to show you what a hollow body position looks like first, okay? Laying on your back. John is now going to transfer some of that posture that we just talked about to the floor, okay? So the first thing that he wants to do is think about getting his lower back pressed down against the ground, okay? Nice and extended, body's nice and straight here. Now from there, he's nice and strong. He's going to put his arms over his head, okay?
Still, my natural inclination is to lose that lower back.
Right. Which is okay for a little bit if you're not be thinking about holding it, but you want to think about creating a nice tight core, holding this nice and tight. Okay? Because the handstand is not just your arms, it's a full body exercise. Okay? How's it feel?
Feels good. It's actually almost a little bit harder here than it naturally is even upside down, because if you're like me and you have some tightness in your shoulders, trying to keep the lower back on the ground with the legs straight, and then getting the arms above your head, I can't get my fingers to the floor here. But that again is a little bit of tightness in my own shoulders that does make a handstand a little bit harder for me, but after years of doing it, I've learned to kind of adjust it. But ultimately, you want your body to be forward straight, hands straight above your head, so you can get that stacked position.
So we got the body position down really well with John here. Now we're going to actually turn him over and actually put his hands on the ground to begin that handstand position. Feet are still on the floor, so don't worry. I'm not going to get you off the floor yet, but this will really help you to learn the position first. So this is the first thing. The back is still nice and straight, okay? Hands and shoulders are over his fingernails here. Okay, this is where his shoulders are going to stay when he goes vertical as well. But you have so many more things that you can focus on before getting your feet off the ground. Shoulders, he's nice and solid here. Nice and straight body here. Body's extended here. Okay, head is neutral. All this is nice and straight, nice and stacked. You got to learn this position first before you can even get your feet off the ground. Good job.
And ideally, in a perfect world, you would literally just take your body and go from this position, and nothing would move except your shoulders. You would go whoop, and just stay in that exact same position as you go vertical. There's no difference between this body position that I'm doing right here and the one that you're going to maintain when you're upside down in your handstand.
So now, John, we're in that plank position. Now, all I want you to do is just maintain that same position, then just step up onto the bench. You can use anything. You can use a chair, you can use a bed, we have a nice little box here, but just step up and hold that position.
Kind of like what we talked about, in a perfect world, if you could just elevate,
that's it.
Keeping the same position. So, if I'm here in my plank, make sure I'm still in the video for everybody to see. Here, holding my position, and then step up, same position.
Look at there.
And one thing that I will note that makes for a really good handstand is the tightness of your glutes. You got to squeeze really hard, and the harder you squeeze, the straighter your body naturally becomes. You can't actually squeeze here and keep your body bent. It just doesn't work that way. Your body will naturally extend, tighten up, and that's the position that we're looking for as you start to go upside down.
All right. Do it. Hey, John, just do a couple more though. Show us a couple more. Step up, step down. Step up, Good. See, shoulders never change, guys. And this is a handstand, right? He's on his hands and his feet are off the ground. So this is your first level of success right here. Okay, let me try a couple of those now. Let me try.
Yeah, hop in there. Hop in there.
All right, so same thing. Okay, some of you guys are gonna get your bottom up too high, but you wanna start with getting that nice elbow body position, take the step up. Okay, and you need to scoot back a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier actually. So get a little bit closer. You need to get your shins on there. It's easier than if your toes are on there. And John, why is that?
Well, it's all about leverage. So if your shins are on there, there's less pressure on your shoulders and your hands as you're off the ground.
Exactly. Right? So find your level that you can succeed in and start there. Just working.
Yeah, it's all about easing your way up. There's no reason to try to learn a handstand right now today if you can't already do one. So you want to take your time, go step by step, and as we progress, there's a million different things that we're going to teach to maximize your handstand ability. Right now we're focusing on the very minimum, just fundamentals of how to work your way up there before maybe doing it against the wall or even think about doing it freestanding by yourself.
And just remember, guys, this is for fitness. This is for health and fitness. So don't worry about it if you can't hold a handstand right now for 10 seconds or 5 seconds or a minute. I want you just to get comfortable with getting your feet off the ground. Don't worry about if you can't walk around on your hands. Just get off the ground, and then we'll work up. Now we're going to take that same concept of stepping up onto the box and now stepping up onto the wall. Just going a little bit higher. Just think about maybe getting 45 degrees. Okay, you don't even have to go up too high yet. It's just a progression. Okay, go ahead and take those shoes off. Okay. Find a wall that you don't feel, bad about stepping up on, or any mirrors on it, or any pictures that can come down. Let's go and just see what can happen here. So you want your hands on the ground. Remember, same kind of base. Get your bottom up a little bit, and then step up. Let's scoot out a little bit. Make it a little easier. Step up, tight, step down. Step up. Don't forget to breathe. And then step with the other foot. Lead with both feet so you get nice and comfortable.
The next step in this is slowly walking your feet all the way up and also moving your hands closer to the wall. Belly against the wall, hands on the floor, start in that position that we talked about. Feet go on the wall. And step all the way up, then all the way back down. So one thing I will say, as soon as you get vertical the first time, could be a little intimidating, could be a little bit scary. If you can, do this on a carpeted area or with a mat on the other side of your body if you happen to fall forward. But again, take your time, go up slowly, and if you start to get shaky, a little bit tired, either forward roll out or just step to the side. Step up, start to get a little bit nervous, just step down to the side. That's the safest way to come down out of your handstand. So handstand safety is key. Like I mentioned, if you go upside down and you're not used to being inverted, it can get a little bit dangerous if you don't know how to come out of it properly. There's two ways that I recommend. The first one is if you're upside down in your handstand, you start to get a little bit wobbly, you don't know what to do, you can tuck and roll. So bend your arms very gently, place your head on the floor, and do a forward roll. That's not necessarily the safest way unless you have a good understanding of a forward roll. The other way to come out of your handstand is you're up against the wall and you start to get a little bit wobbly. Pick a side, either this side or this side, and just step down. It's kind of like a cartwheel out of your handstand. So being able to do that properly is really important. It's more important than being able to hold a good handstand. It's knowing how to come out of it.
John, okay, what do I do if my arms are just dead? I've held a handstand to where I just can't do anymore, and I'm just melting into the wall and shaking. How do I get out of this safely?
Gotcha, no problem at all. So you're up against the wall, you're killing it in your handstand, you feel your shoulders getting strong, but you get those wobbles, and you're like, I can't forward roll, I can't cartwheel out. I'm about to collapse to the ground. So the best way to come out, use every ounce of energy and strength that you have to just slowly lower to your head and do a nice headstand. Then you can roll forward. If your arms have nothing left, you got to give it everything you got just to get to the top of your head, and then find your way out, whether it's a roll or flop to your side. As long as you're not up extended on your arms anymore, get to your head as quick as possible.
This is an exercise that I have my clients and the people that I work out with do to make, this is a lot more cardiovascular, a lot more of a strength exercise. It kind of, gets more muscles involved with just doing the handstand. This can be done low and it can be done high. It's called a jump handstand. Jump handstand, you just jump up, put your feet there, body tight. You can go even lower if you need to. Jump. Now, my shoulders are staying over my fingertips. That's the key, okay? And then you can just jump a little bit higher here. And then combine with what John did. Hands a little closer. Or you can do a progression. Okay? Those are all some options there for the jump handstand. We are now going to go back to the wall handstand. So we're going to be facing the wall and then kick up to a handstand. But, from working with lots of people, I understand that some people they're not quite sure where vertical is. They're not very comfortable with kicking up that way. It's kind of scary because your body just has to get used to finding vertical. And like being a gymnast, we do it over and over and over and build that proprioception of knowing where vertical is. But now we're asking you to go a little bit beyond that vertical to actually find the wall. So John's going to show you how to kick up. He's going to kick up and find the wall by putting one foot on the wall first and bringing the other foot up and then coming back down. Okay?
And two things to note, I work with a lot of CrossFit athletes.
Right.
And a lot of them think, if I'm going to do a handstand, I need to learn it by kicking up back against the wall first. But two things, what Carrie said is if you're not used to finding that inverted position, it can be a little scary at first, but also going back to the wall first can teach a bad position.
Right.
Because if you have your hands too far from the wall and you're trying to get your feet to the wall, next thing you know, you've got that arch in your back. So we're going to show you how you can avoid that.
Right. See, his foot goes on and then the second one goes up, okay? The first foot finds the wall, okay?
And my hands were pretty close to the wall that time. I'm going to move them a little bit further away to show you how much past that inverted position you're actually going to go. So I'm going to move my hands about a foot away from the wall.
Finds it there and then comes back down from there. See, we're just working on you guys getting upside down. We're going to perfect body positions and stuff like that later, but the principles stay the same. John's shoulders were still right in line with his fingertips. Okay, shoulders did not move. His feet just went over and they found the wall. Right, so today we've been working on this handstand position, and this is ultimately your goal for a really good, solid handstand position, right? His head is in nice and tight. His belly is up against the wall. Nice extension through his feet there. That's also very key. His extension. He's really pushed up through here.
Instead of here?
See, that's sunk. This is nice and pushed up and nice and extended, okay? His hands are in the right position. This is the goal. And this is years and years of practice for a really solid, perfect handstand. But I want you guys to focus on just getting off of your feet and just getting the health and fitness benefits of being in a handstand position. Is that kind of old school?
It's almost too natural for you to do it that way.
Is it like head up more?
Yeah, so head up a little bit more. Yeah, that's the old school handstand. It's more like it's more of like right here.
Yeah.
It's recording. It's recording, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to say something about
Yeah, okay, guys. This is what we call an old school handstand, right? See now the stacking is just not there. It's more of a arch, okay? His head is out. His shoulders are still over the fingernail. That's why he can hold it, okay? But the heels, there's a nice C. Now he pushes up to nice and straight and stack. I'll put his head in just a little bit more, right? Now it's a straight handstand position. Old school versus new school.
And that old school handstand is hard.
It's hard to be old school. So we worked on the handstand today. Guys, the most important part of the handstand is to have fun. We do all these other things on our feet, and it's just work, and man, we have worn out stuff to do on our feet. Now it's time to get off our feet and have a little fun. There's a whole nother world to being inverted and being horizontal and just changing it up to get total health and fitness balance. So most importantly, me and John just want to help you guys to have fun doing handstands, find a whole new world of how to work the core, the triceps, the shoulders, the back, and just, have fun doing it. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a movement right now in the calisthenic world and the CrossFit world to get a better handstand. And I think what a lot of people are learning is that the impact that a handstand has on your shoulders to build big, strong, sturdy shoulders, along with, like you said, the core and the balance and everything, it's so valuable. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's a very underutilized skill. People don't work on their handstands enough because they don't understand the value of it. So we wanted to make this something that you can progress and you can learn step by step how to get upside down, how to get inverted, because the results, the gains that you're going to get from having a nice handstand are incredible, and you'll see it if you start working on it. It may take 6 months, may take a year, may take you a little bit longer, but if you're consistent with your handstand work, you will get super strong.
That's right. Guys, have fun doing handstands. Let's go.
Yep. Make sure you like, subscribe. Appreciate you tuning in to 94.8 Fitness. We'll see you next time.